Coming up on In Your Neighborhood, we've got your culinary day all planned out. We'll start you off in downtown Lewisburg, which is looking a little like the City of Lights thanks to these treats at the Paris Bakery and Cafe. And then you can have lunch or dinner at Penn's Tavern, south of Sunbury.
TiVo Plus. All the TV you could ever dream of. Personalized and streaming 24/7. Your favorite shows, movies, videos, and more. All in one easy experience you know and love. Streaming TV that's free, binge-worthy, and always on.
Is this great or what?
TiVo Plus.
There are a lot of avenues you can take to market your business, but one easy choice to make. The SECV8 Community Bulletin Board is an inexpensive way for you to get directly into the homes of the potential customers you want to reach. The Community Bulletin Board costs $6 a day and can reach up to 54,000 households. You can find out more by heading to secv8.com.
This is astounding.
Welcome to Sports Gone Wrong, a new series from Vice Sports, where four go-to gurus dissect the most absurd,
Lizinator,
humiliating
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
moments in sports.
Forget the game, this is amazing.
Sports Gone Wrong, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on Vice.
Welcome to In Your Neighborhood. I'm your host, Chris O'Rourke, and can you beat that view? I feel like I've said that recently, but in this case, it's definitely appropriate with the Susquehanna River nearby that the owner of Penn's Tavern along Route 147 south of Sunbury would add more deck space when they took over the place back in 2015. It's hard to believe this place has been open for over 300 years in some way, shape, or form, and it keeps drawing in huge crowds. You really can't beat the view of the Susquehanna River from the double-decker deck at Penn's Tavern. Manager Haley Zuloff said it best. The restaurant has different vibes, and the deck section is giving off the perfect one for this spring day. It was beautiful when we stopped by, and they already had customers sitting out on the deck for lunch, with geese swimming in the river nearby. Zuloff was expecting plenty of calls for reservations that evening, as Tuesday night also means live music on the deck. The interesting part, the lower section is only 9 years old. It was added by the Mertz family when they bought the place back in 2015. They closed the tavern for a couple of months to add the deck and renovate the bar just inside. If you're not familiar with the Mertz name, they also own Sunbury Motors. Son Kyle Mertz was among the 3 people who talked with us on that nice morning and said there was a bit of a learning curve for them.
A little bit of trial and error. We had an idea of what we wanted to do. We knew what we thought was going to work, and for a majority of our ideas worked, and we made some changes along the way. And as of now, I think we have a really, really good staff and a really, really good idea of how we want things to run, and we stick to it, and it's been pretty successful.
Other sections of the restaurant also have different vibes. The renovated bar, which Haley says is all high energy, the back room used for bigger parties, and then there's the romantic and cozy front, the original part of the business, which, aside from some wood refinishing, is largely the same as when it was built. Put it all together and you've got a restaurant with a little bit of something for everyone, depending on what you're looking for and how you're feeling that day. While the front, with its fireplace and rustic old world charm, may be just the ticket for a cold day, the back part, whether it's the bar or the deck, is the perfect place for summer, their busiest time of the year. Zuloff joined Mertz and me, along with executive chef Rich Daigle. While Kyle goes between Sunbury Motors and Penn's Tavern each day, Zuloff has been manning the fort for 5 years as bartender and taking on the manager role after the pandemic. Daigle has been there for 2 years. All three agree they currently have their best staff yet.
When it gets super, super busy, you don't hear a peep from people yelling at each other. They're not arguing. They just settle in. We are all going to have to get through this. I'm not an average executive chef when it comes to, I'm not on the outside looking in. I'm right in the trenches with them, so it helps a lot, I think. And everybody knows that I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure we get through, and I expect the same from them, and we get everything done. And like I said, there is no arguing, there's no complaining. It's once it gets busy, we're on it.
Mertz and Zuloff also agree that Penn's Tavern reached new heights during the most trying time for all of us in recent memory, the pandemic.
So we took all of our tables and chairs that are on the deck here, we walked them down into the lawn. So the way that worked was we put our phone number on the tables, and people would call in, pay with a credit card, and we'd have some people standing in the kitchen waiting for the food to be made, and we'd run them down to the table. I think everybody working that summer probably lost 15 pounds. And we were walking, I bet, upwards of 6 to 8 miles a day and climbing like 40 or 50 flights of stairs. But like Haley said, I mean, that's really what got our name out there and put us on the map, and I think really established us.
The fact that the food here is amazing certainly helps. They were coming off their annual winter of German food and moving into spring and summer with their Key West menu.
All right, so now you've intrigued me with something else. The Key West Fare. What does that entail?
There's a lot going on there. We have we have cold water. We have cold water, warm water lobster. We have jerk chicken. We have.
All right, let's stop you right there. What is warm water lobster? I've never heard of that.
It's actually from like the Bahamas and that kind of area.
Okay.
And so it's not. It's like normally you'd think of Maine for the cold water. It's just a little more. It's a little more dense, a little more sweet than the other ones are. A little different to cook, but it's very good.
Okay, cool. Continue.
We do. We have mahi with a citrus butter on top of that. We have seasoned rice going with that. We have swordfish bites, and we have calamari. We have gator bites, which are actually alligator that is marinated and then breaded and fried.
Rich brings more than 40 years of restaurant experience to each meal he makes. He started at age 14 at the Hotel Edison as a busboy. Later moving into the kitchen at Ted's Landing, remember that place? Or even Haas's during its heyday. He's worked under amazing executive chefs, both locally and at 6 restaurants in Maryland. He's learned all the tricks of the trade and took over a menu that shows off his talents while also giving him the freedom to create exciting weekend specials. After our interview, he jumped into action in the kitchen. He told us that his specialties are steaks and soup, which led to this moment. Owner Tom Mertz and I enjoying some of that soup. Tom had the hearty chicken and rice, and I chose the crab bisque, which was out of this world. It's that kind of flavor that led to a very nice moment for Rich.
I had a gentleman who actually cried 2 weeks ago. He got our mussels. He had a stroke a few months back, and he was having a hard time tasting things. He got our mussels, and he actually had the waitress give me a $10 tip and said how wonderful it was. He gave her a $20 tip. He gave the bartender a $25 tip. I mean, he was just overwhelmed. So I was like, normally I'm so busy I don't go out front. I went out and actually, I said, oh, thank you so much for coming out. I said, this is great. I said, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And he was crying then. He was, that's satisfaction you can't get anywhere else. So it's nice.
Of course, nothing goes better with a nice day or night out on the deck in the summer or by the fireplace in winter, then the perfect drink. And that's where Haley comes in. First off, she has the pedigree. Her grandfather bartended here in the 70s and 80s. She was a bartender at another business before coming to the Tavern. She can make just about anything and says people come out for her Bloody Marys. Haley has tweaked some ingredients in drinks that have always been popular here, like the Moscow Mule, and says their most popular drink is the Orange Crush. They've made 1,000 of them. Here's another neat thing. They grow their own mint, used in mint juleps and mojitos. Haley even picked some before showing us how she makes a mojito.
So we start with our freshly picked mint. Big mint.
They are big these.
Yeah, they are.
And how long have you been growing your own mint?
This is our third year. Second summer. Second summer we've been growing
I can
it.
smell it already.
Oh, I know, it's intense. This is apple mint. It's like one of the best. So you slap it to release the essence. Wish you put bitters in it, just a little bit. That helps release the essence as well. Some people don't use that, but I like it. Lime. We got simple syrup. And we got lime juice. And then the muddling. But not too hard, because you don't want to destroy it. You just want to let it out. And this is a rum-based cocktail, typically. Some of my other ones I use vodka in, but rum is usually where it's at. Let's get ice. And then most of the times people will do club soda, but I do ginger ale with mine. Gives it a nice little different flavor kick to it. Oh wait, mix it all together.
And this is a big seller in the summertime.
Yes, all of the ones that we do, super awesome. The watermelon one I just did, people were crazy about. They really like that one. And then you slap your mint. You got yourself a mojito from Penn's Tavern's freshly picked mint.
You might have noticed, like I did, that Zuloff just poured the ingredients in without measuring.
Yes.
She's confident enough in her abilities to eyeball it. That kind of confidence led her to enter a national bartender contest called Bar Boss about 2 years ago.
One of the girls that worked here, she sent it to me on Facebook and was like, you should apply for this. You should try to get into it. And I was like, all right. So on a whim, I just did it. Well, it turns out they pretty much accepted everyone who went in and applied. And then I didn't really take it serious at first. I was just like, whatever. And then I started to see other people in the area were doing it. And it was based off of just votes. You just had to vote. And you were in the running to win 10,000 and then the Bar Boss title. I got pretty much to the end, to the semifinals. I was 6th in my group. A guy from Manhattan won.
Kyle said that shows the level of community here, that she was able to place so high in a national contest. So you've got the 3 different areas of the restaurant with the 3 different vibes. You've got amazing food, definitely try the crab bisque at the very least, and Haley slinging drinks behind the bar. You've got owners who care deeply about the product and about giving you the best dining experience possible. All the ingredients that make Penn's Tavern stand out. But there are 2 other things that add to the mystique of this place. First, its age. Kyle says local lore dates it to 1703, and there are signs at the tavern with that year on them. But based on his research and that of other local historians, he believes it's closer to the late 1700s or early 1800s. Kyle believes it was always a business, used as a ferry stop across the river to Selinsgrove, a post office, and of course, a railway stop. It's still active in that regard. 2 or 3 trains passed through the parking lot while we were there. He couldn't say how many owners there have been over the years, or exactly when it became a restaurant. And while the history is interesting, What is even more fascinating, even hair-raising, are the stories about it being haunted. While Haley says she hasn't had any supernatural experiences in her 5 years, Rich says there have been times in the kitchen when he felt like there was someone there, only to find no one. Kyle topped that with this gem.
Tom and I were here right before we opened. He wanted to show me the renovations that we were doing in the bar area. Him and I both like to fish, so we brought our fishing rods with. And he said, Kyle, make sure you turn the lights off above the bar before we go out fishing. So I know for a fact I did because I had to ask him where the light switch was behind the door. So I turned the lights off, we go out, we fish for a little while, and then we come back in and the lights above the bar are on. And he goes, Kyle, I thought I told you to turn the lights off before we went out fishing. And I said, well, I did. I was like, don't you remember? I kind of asked you where the light switch was and fumbled around looking for it, and I definitely turned them off.
That's kind of creepy.
A little bit, yeah.
Did it creep you out?
A little bit, yeah. You know, you kind of felt your hair stand up on the back of your neck a little bit, but.
Owner Tom told us he stayed overnight once and came down to find a bourbon bottle open with the cork sitting next to it, and it definitely wasn't there the night before. Haunted or not, Penn's Tavern offers a little bit of everything, excellent food and drinks, and if the team is feeling creative, some incredible specials. That combination draws in crowds locally and from 1 to 2 hours away. Last year, they even got a call from the Little League World Series team from Texas wanting to come to dinner. And yes, they've had people pull up to the banks of the river by boat or kayak for a bite to eat or a drink. So we're here on a Tuesday, and if the river isn't a big enough draw to be out here on the deck, tonight Rapid Run is going to be here performing, and they have entertainment every Tuesday night out here on the deck at Penn's Tavern along Route 147 south of Sunbury. When we come back, hey, you can have lunch here at Penn's Tavern and then head up to Lewisburg to the Paris Bakery for dessert. Sounds like a great combo to me.
Neighbors serving neighbors since 1948.
Hello, everybody. I'm Carl Bauer. Join me as we sit down with some local sports legends of the past. From state champions to gold medalists, we catch up and find out whatever happened to those fantastic local athletes. Join me every Monday at 2 and 6 p.m. for Catching Up with Carl, only on Service Electric Cablevision, Channel 508 HD.
It truly is a shame that no one invented smell-o-vision, because what we're showing you right now is so much more than a feast for the eyes. If you go to the Paris Bakery and Cafe in downtown Lewisburg, you'll find it's a full-on assault on all of your senses. I'm betting you went a little bug-eyed when you saw this. And as this little boy discovered, the treats at the Paris Bakery are the kind that you don't mind getting all over your face. This spot on Market Street is unlike any place you've ever been, a culinary delight that the website usreporter.com called the best French bakery in America for 2024. The site says pretty much what I just did, that walking into the bakery is an experience in itself, transporting you to the bustling streets of Paris. It had long been a dream of owner Mario Mabrouk to open a French bakery, dating back to before the pandemic. But he only took the leap about a year and a half ago when he saw the for rent sign on this storefront.
The idea came since every time I crave something like this, I have to drive 3 hours down to DC or Virginia, or I have to go to Philly for it. And there's no place like this here, even like in Harrisburg or like around. This is the only and the first place in central Pennsylvania that has, all the French goods.
While Mario is a bit of a baker at home as a way to relieve stress, he has left the creation of the menu items to a friend from Tunisia who spent 25 years in Paris. From the beginning, they decided to import some ingredients directly from the City of Lights itself.
Most of them, I say, like the chocolate, the butter, and the yeast that we use for the croissants are from France. We got like a shipment once in a few months, and we have a supplier from New York and a supplier from Virginia, and even the drinks that we have on display right there, those are from France and from Germany and from the UK. So we're trying to be a true European bakery, not just like French bakery. A lot of people, they say, this croissant is even better than what they tried in Paris.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes, it's like, if you've been to Paris before and you try, the croissants there and you try ours, it's like almost like the same and even better, some people, they say.
Why do you need to import those? Is there something different about the way they're made?
That is. Actually, the chocolate, the way they make it in Europe, it's not the same as here. Here, if you go to buy the chocolate sticks that we use for the, for the pain au chocolat, if you look at the ingredient list, it's like 60 or 50 items. In Europe, it's like 3 ingredients. It's the, the chocolate, the cocoa powder, the butter, and I think some preservative just to keep it together. That's pretty much it, and it is very different. We tried some of the chocolate here in the U.S., and the one we tried from here, from like a different supplier, this is before we opened, it has like some kind of like, the aftertaste. And when you're used to it, you can't tell the difference. If you tried it for the first time, you said, yeah, this is good. But for me, I tried the good stuff and I tried different stuff, and I think it's better to stick to the French one. The same thing for the butter. The way they make the butter in Europe, especially in France, they have like specific laws. It has to be 85% fat, and the way they make it, it's not like I think cream, as they call it here, because in the U.S. most of the butter it's just cream. It's not like butter as butter. And the yeast, it's just like the organic yeast. I think it's more active when we use it, especially when you go commercial. It's not, it just makes sense to get like a big batch of yeast and active yeast, keep them in the fridge, and just use a little batch. And when we bake.
Back when they opened, there was a line down the street, and that continued for several months. Mario bought these really cool boxes directly from Paris, 50,000 of them, expecting them to last a long time. They were gone in 6 months. So if you got one with an order and happened to hold on to it, congratulations. They may become like Tiffany boxes. They now use these pink boxes they bought from North Carolina, which are still pretty nice. He also got pink cups from Paris, but in 12 and 16 ounce sizes because he wants to offer healthy portions. He's not a fan of cups that can hold upwards of 50 ounces. While the sweets might catch your eye first, they also have plenty of savory items to go along with their line of specialty coffees. Their menu covers everything you could want, from their famous croissants to quiches and sandwiches. They also have a lunch menu that is to die for. Mario says they open early and stay open late, until 9 o'clock. Because everything is made fresh daily, they operate 24/7 with their team of 10 employees. They only stop baking for an hour each day to clean the kitchen. Mario used to be an IT manager, but this is now his full-time gig. He often is here until midnight, and if you swing by late in the day, close to closing, you might score some free treats, thanks to their daily turnover policy. They also donate leftovers to local food banks, police, and fire departments. When we sat down with him, a plate of breakfast items quickly appeared in front of us, just begging to be eaten. But we had Mario walk us through each one, including which is his personal favorite.
So this is the strawberry croissant. So it's made with strawberry cream inside and French vanilla cream, and the top it's freeze-dried strawberry. So everything here, we're trying to make it like organic, nothing nothing artificial. Even for the coloring, we don't use like the red 40 or anything like that. That's that's beet powder. It's like kind of earthy flavor. The one next to it, it's the tart. That's a shortcake bread, French vanilla and berries on top. The glaze, that's French nappage. That is also from France. The glaze you see on the top. The one next to it, that is my favorite actually. That is the pistachio. That is pistachio with pistachio cream inside and French vanilla cream. And the top, it's that's pistachio powder on the top. That one I first tried like 3 years ago before I opened. I went to Italy and I tried it the first time there. I was like, I want to do that when I open a French bakery. So the pistachio, the strawberry, and the raspberries, those I tried in Italy before, and I've never seen them here in the U.S. I've been in a lot of bakeries, so I want to be the first to have them. And those were a hit. When we opened, we like sold out for 2 months in like all the 3 items. And now we added the Swiss croissant. It's this one. So this is the croissant they make in Switzerland. So it's made with the chocolate chips, cream inside, and the shape is different. It's not the same as the French croissant, but this is the Swiss croissant. And then the one next to it is the same as the fruit tart. It's the same base. It's shortcake bread, French vanilla, and kiwi on the top. And those are the breakfast items. We have the croque madame, that's ham and cheese and the egg on the top. And we have the quiche, that's spinach, ricotta cheese, and tomato on the top.
They introduce new items each week, and some treats are only made on the weekends because they're so time-consuming to make, like the blueberry and cream cheese tart. When we visited in May, Mario expressed concern over the looming threat of tariffs, which could increase the cost of ingredients from Paris by as much as 30%. He told us he could switch to local ingredients, but then his products wouldn't stand out. They'd taste like something from the grocery store, rather than something straight out of a cafe in Paris. While he loves his current location on Market Street, and his customers have shown him plenty of love in return, the success of the past year and a half has him considering opening a second location in another community. I tried to talk him into Danville, so we'll see. If that doesn't happen, I'm more than willing to make the 30-minute trip to stock up, which, by the way, is exactly what videographer Dylan Lekevich and I did before leaving. I walked out with 2 boxes.
When it comes to locations, you can't really beat what they have here at the Paris Bakery and Cafe. They are catty corner right over there from Barnes & Noble and right down the street from the Campus Theater, so they've really got a good thing going on here location-wise at the Paris Bakery and Cafe on Market Street in Lewisburg. If you have a segment idea for us, kind of like the Paris Bakery and Cafe, drop us an email at IYN@SECV8.com or message us on Facebook. And that's going to do it for us. I'm your host, Chris O'Rourke. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time, maybe from in your neighborhood.